We have few more to speak on, Srivastav sir, and also we have to request Mrs. Srivastav, Kumkum Didi to speak. But before that, I would like to set that young boy free who has come to the place of a local guardian to connect with us, Moksh, and he has to go back to the hostel, and his hostel people are very strict, so we have to really take care of him. Avnish and Moksh, if you can hear me. Moksh, please go ahead with your 1 or 2 minutes, whatever you want. Your tribute to Sir through a different genre which he always loved.
वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए मन अभिमान नाणे रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे सकल लोक सहुने बंदे निंदा न करे कीनी रे सकल लोक सहुने बंदे निंदा न करे कीनी रे वाच काच मन निश्चल राखे वाच काच मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेनी रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे
Thank you, Moksh. And for those who joined later, Moksh and Professor Srivastav's grandson Rohan, there is a difference of 4 months. They were born at a difference of 4 months, and Moksh has been named by Professor Srivastav and Kumkum Didi. And Moksh's parents are Mirambika and Avnish. Avnish spoke, and I'm sure Mirambika is watching, who is also a professor in NIHFW. Avnish is a professor in MDI. And this is all Didi's inspiration, and that is touching across the generations. We have some more people waiting. Nitin, would you like to say a few words? After that, Rukshana. Nitin can start.
A great personality, a man of simplicity, a man of word, a man who guided us all, students, whether we are still in anthropology or contributing in different parts of our activities. But this is the man. I will never say, I can't say was a man, but I'll say this is a person, this is a man, this is a guru who showed us light in every sphere. And academics, I have no words because we have been hearing a lot from his students. Even I have been a student. I was taught when I entered the Department of Anthropology in 1985. So I was taught during my MSc days when I was a student over there. And then when I started teaching at Ravi Shankar University, Raipur, as a lecturer in anthropology, so he was always there, always. And the best part is when he became, or when he came to various positions, holding administrative positions, so he not only spread the wing of anthropology all across the country, but also to certain departments which were lacking the socio-cultural aspects of the anthropology. And especially the Ravi Shankar University Anthropology Department. Still, like, even I came out of it, I came into the administration, I came on the other side of the picture when becoming an administrator in a university services. But still he had been contributing, giving funds, carrying out seminars, giving grants for the seminars, and specifically for the research methodology to the younger generation, to the younger student. And as lineage of passing the knowledge from one generation to another generation, I also feel proud that my daughter, who is pursuing the PhD now from Delhi, she also has taken the insight of research methodology from Professor Vinay Srivastava, my daughter. So as a student myself as well as my daughter, so this is how Vinay sir is known, passing the knowledge from one generation to another generation. And definitely another aspect, we had been talking about him. I spoke in the morning also when we were there in the prayer meeting at the Department of Anthropology, University of Delhi. But one aspect I was just thinking the whole day today. When I joined, I came back into the administration and started carrying out at a position as registrar of a university, or as a joint registrar, carrying out the things. So there was a teacher who always said, I spoke in the morning also, he wanted me to be back to academics, but there was a teacher who always told me, we need anthropologists also in administration, specifically in the academia world, because there the participatory methodology of administration needs to be carried out for the education to grow. This is Vinay's idea, was specifically in the context of Indian higher education system. And I totally agree. Even when he became the director of the present, when he was holding the present position, he directly and indirectly made me to come into some of the committees over there, which I never understood why he is putting me over there, because he said, I want to have this report, I want to have this document to be seen in an administrative perspective, whether this will be formulated and carried out as an action anthropologist or not. So great of you, sir, means I do not know how to say, how to pay my tribute to you, a person who is a person who takes everybody along with him. Everybody. My seniors, Vibha told me about it, and Professor Patnaik told about him. So he used to take everyone, and very rightly said by one of the speakers over here that Vinay sir, we all used to love, and he used to love us all. So this is what Vinay Srivastava is. So he was a kind of a person flying from one place to another place and devoting and giving out his time to the maximum to the academic activities all around. I met him. I got a chance to be with him in the at Raipur also. Same there again at Raipur in my last. There was a seminar which was conducted where number of people who are present over here were also there. Saraswati was also there. So he came in by the morning flight, and he did not stay. He used to carry his suitcase, and then in the evening he took back again to another place. So that is what Vinay sir is rather. I'm right again and again. I'm saying he is still with us, and he will remain with us forever. And definitely the ideas, the teaching, the research, the way of life, a way of simplicity life, what he has shown us, we are going to, if we can follow his footsteps, that will be a tribute to our own teacher, Professor Vinay. Really a great man, a vacuum in anthropology, a vacuum in academia. Obviously, physically it will be a vacuum, but no doubt he has left such a legendary galaxy of students, galaxy of friends, galaxy of scholars all around him, that all of you and all of us, wherever we can contribute, will be contributing. And we will be always there, Madam Kumkum ma'am, we will be always there. Anytime, anything, we are always there. And Sir is going to remain with all of us. He has not left us, maybe, but his soul and his all teachings are there with us. And we always cherish and be proud to say that yes, Professor Srivastav has been our teacher, is our guru.
This has struck me so hard because it was just on the 23rd of November that I got a call from Kumkum ma'am early in the morning, and she was like, "Sir wants to speak to you, talk to him." And Sir said, "Come over in the evening, I have something to give you." And so I met Sir in the evening, and that was the day when we had a long conversation as usual. And he started off with his anthropological journey, how he encountered anthropology, and he had called it as an accidental encounter while he was in the midst of doing his pre-meds. It might have been an accidental encounter for him, but for all of us, it is a blessed encounter that we could meet such a great personality, such a great teacher, and somebody who would always take you under his care and guidance. I started my understanding of medical anthropology with his classes in 2001, but it is during my tenure in Indira Gandhi National Open University that I have come to know him not only as somebody who was always there for you, but as a parent also. And he had been holding my hand, guiding me in the development of course material. And one of those courses was comparative ethnography. And I was struggling how to conceptualize and get this course in writing. We were working with 36 ethnographies, and it was a huge task. And it was during this time in 2011-12 that I used to go to his place almost every day after his office hours, after my office hours, and I used to be there till 8:30 in the evening, and we used to sit together, evaluate the ethnographies, the writings, the write-ups that has come up, and then we used to prepare and edit the entire course. It took us almost 3 months, and during this time, I became a part of his family. And there was never a time when I had come home without a meal or without bringing my dinner with me, because ma'am would never let me come home without eating something. It was her thing. And initially I was a bit hesitant, I was a bit shy, and I would refuse. But then Sir would say, "This is what we are. You are a part of us, so you need to be a part of us." And that's how our relationship grew. And on that last day, he even gifted me his the last publication that has come up, that India's Tribes, and he had asked me to write a review for it. And anthropology department in Indira Gandhi National Open University would always be grateful to Sir and his unconditional support that he has given us, not only as a teacher, but as a human being par excellence. We would always remember him. And I, on behalf of my department, my discipline, I would like to thank Sir for each and every moment of his life that he has given for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruxana. Professor D.R. Sahu from Lucknow Sociology, head of the department, is there.
I'm very shocked to learn about the news which was given to me by Professor Chaudhary, because we have been together for the last 23 years, me and Professor Chaudhary, 29 years. And since 92, I am also close to Professor Vinay Srivastav sir, and he has been guiding us, like as already spelled out, articulated by Professor Somendra Patnaik and Professor Sukant about his close association. So I had an opportunity also the same long evening hours with him, and it was really great that when I took the charge of the department, he used to give me a lot of insight, input in the context of one important thing I had done it, that is celebrating M.N. Srinivas centenary celebration. So M.N. Srinivas centenary celebration, we did it in Lucknow University in the Department of Sociology, and he was one of the key speakers and panel speakers. And before his, COVID, he spoke to me around November first week that Dipti, can you give me that recorded speech of mine, and I would like to write, and I would like to see that what I have spoken. The notes was with me, but I don't know where it is. But still, I would like to. If you can give it to me, it would be really good. And he spoke to me around 45 minutes. Then I shared with him about the centenary celebration of the University of Lucknow and the role of the Department of Sociology, particularly how to celebrate it. Then he provided me the idea of organizing lecture series. And he said also that Anthropological Survey of India would be also interested in, sponsoring some of the lectures. And the idea was given by Professor Srivastav was that why don't you start organizing a lecture on the idea of India. As a teacher, when I joined Lucknow University, I was raw. And Professor Srivastav used to give me a lot of input. And based on those things, I have really shaped me. It has shaped me really well. And in the context of writing, in the context of, doing references, in the context of, going for abstractions. So everything I got it from Professor Srivastav. And as already people say that social scientists, particularly sociologists and anthropologists, have to play a role of an organic intellectual. Organic intellectual, everybody so knows it, the concept that the people, the organic intellectual, those who can represent and the concerns and voices of the local community and the people with whom they are studying as it is in the public domain. So Professor Srivastav, I believe, so for me, he is really, he can be called as an organic intellectual, where he had played a strong role as Anthropological Survey of India. He did some of the important work. So with this, on behalf of the Department of Sociology, on behalf of the faculty members of the Department of Sociology, Lucknow University, I pay my rich tribute to Sir, and I pay my condolence, deepest condolence to Kumkum Madam and their family members.
Thank you, Dipti. Now I think we are moving towards the final aspect. Before I request Kumkum Di, Professor Nilika Mehrotra from Center for Study of Social System.
I'll say very briefly about what I think of him today and what I have seen him over last 4 decades. I was one of the Navratans, as has been said. We were 9 students, and I think our fieldwork became almost a phenomena because it was one of those fieldworks out of which a volume also came out, Nagaland, a contemporary ethnography, edited by Professor Subhadra Channa, who did not visit with us, but she very kindly compiled, our articles together, and we have that also a distinction of a batch where more than half of us are in academics. We are doing anthropology. One thing which Professor Srivastav was very proud of that we were all in the discipline in different ways. Neeta, me, Kali, Krishna Kali, who's there, Vibha, um, so many of us who were pursuing, and many, of course, but I need to talk about the context, which nobody has actually touched upon. We were students in heydays of the Department of Social Anthropology. We had some of the most wonderful teachers. Professor Mehra, I still remember, and Didi will agree with me. And often Professor Shivastav told us that, Didi uh, respected him more than, Vinay's scholarship. But I still remember that, we had some of the most wonderful teachers. Professor Marwa was just around with us, and Professor Channa. And we have lost Professor Channa, Professor Mehra, Professor Bhandari, and now Vinay. I just can't believe that we have lost some of the brightest stars of social anthropology in few years. And Vinay came at the time when they were, stars. So making a, position in that galaxy of stars where Professor Tiwari, Professor I.P. Singh, and many other very big stars of anthropology were there, I think it must have been a very, very big task for him. So one is that. The second is, which directly affects me, Neeta, and maybe Sukant also briefly, that he was one person who opened the gates of sociology to us. And because, me, Neeta, and others came from natural sciences, Vibha also, I think we came from natural sciences. We knew nothing about anthropology or sociology at that point. And Vinay opened sociology to us. He made all the stars of sociology household names. Professor Bette, he was a master storyteller. So I think the stories, narrations about Andre Bette, A.M. Shah, Shiv Vishwanathan, so many, stars of sociology were told to us during our fieldwork days and later. And for us, this movement from anthropology to sociology possibly unconsciously became easy because, we had heard so much about them. I still remember when I would see Professor Bette walking on the road on Chhatramarg, I would associate with him, though he had never taught us, but he was our teacher's teacher. So in a way, I think that he was a bridge. He was a bridge between anthropology and sociology. Some of us teaching sociology today are, we were so comfortable, we were so at ease with sociology, sociological theories, text, M.N. Srinivas, inequalities. These were some of the concepts that I think it was Vinay who opened that to us. I think our greatest tribute to him would be to actually contribute in writing. And from Indian Anthropological Association, since I edit the journal, I plan to have a special volume, and I invite all social scientists who are sitting here, sociologists, social anthropologists, to contribute to the volume, which we shall soon be making formal announcement of. And we would like his students, his colleagues, his friends to contribute articles, and it would be a kind of small face shrift, our tribute to him. This is what I have to say. This would be our greatest tribute and condolence to the family and friends of Vinay. Thank you so much.
On behalf of Indian Anthropological Association, there will be every effort to cherish his memory, to remember his academic contribution and also to shape the future of anthropology in India in all possible ways. And you have suggested one of them, a special volume on Indian anthropologist, which he was also editing at some point of history. I think there are many people in the audience who have expressed their wish, but please pardon me, we can't make it more open.
So no.
And it is, in Hindu concept and Indian concept, we say that there is always a wish of the departed soul, which allows the things to happen pertaining to his memory. I have seen invariably the tribute meetings, condolence meetings are extending beyond expectation, like his classes. His classes would extend and everybody would be absorbed so deeply into it without any hitch, without any realization of the time. And that is Vinay Srivastava effect. I was remembering when Professor Chella Perumal, once I told Srivastava sir that I'm talking to Chella Perumal, he clearly remembered the initial. I would not be knowing A by that time. He said, Adi Moolam Chella Perumal. I mean, every moment he lives with us. Through his corrections, through his editing of life, through his editing of language and editing of the ideas. And that is Vinay Srivastava. Now I request our most revered, dear Didi, Kumkum Didi, the better half of Srivastava sir. Before I invite her, I'll take half a minute. On one of the occasions, in the first occasion when I came to know about a person called Kumkum Srivastava, it was none other than Srivastava sir's mouth. He was editing some of my articles and I was overawed. I was full of reverence. And he said, do you know, I also have an editor at home. And that was the first introduction. I came to know that there is somebody called Kumkum Didi at home. That was my initial introduction. Now, Kumkum Didi, say a few words.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you all very much for the words spoken from the heart. And all of you, and I must thank, Sumendra and Sukant for bringing all of them together on one platform. So much love has been showered on him, so much respect, so much praise for his erudition, and in all this, you have not forgotten me. In every one of you has spoken about either my, Declan talking about how I stopped Vinay from pursuing, what he used to do, his routine, 6-hour, 9 or 12-hour routine on writing the books on the tribes, the forgotten tribes of India. I remember, of course, James and Chris Pinney coming to my house, and, my mother trying very hard to speak in English with him. And, after, she made an effort and spoke for about 10 minutes, he turned around to her and said, "Aap mujhe wo bhutta de sakti hain?" And, it was, and here was Chris, that poor mother of mine, speaking to him, and in all the finest English words she could, muster courage to speak, although of course she did speak, but, and there he turns around. So this was the kind of, interactions we had. I stayed in Declan's house and I used to make puri cholas for him, and he forgot that. And he only remembered, anyway. So these are, all of you have touched upon those parts of his life, those times of his life, those areas of his life, those places where I didn't go, where I was not with him. I spent 2 months in England, but the other 2 years, you have made me aware of those days. Whether it was Vibha talking about Nagaland, or whether it was Ruxana, talking to him about the articles, the units that she almost forced him to write, or whether it was Somendra, I mean, I came to know that he was somehow, and of course, he loved me, I know, but that you also know that, and you also knew that he loved me to distraction. Well, thank you very much for telling me that, because I thought he loved anthropology more than me. We fought over anthropology. We fought over the times that he, after classes, he used to sit when the doors were closed. He used to sit on those, stairs, spending, the time that he should have spent with me. He spent it with you all. And, so I have forgiven you now that, because now that I know that he loved the subject, he had 2 passions, I said. And, one was anthropology, or one was teaching or speech, and the other was his family. And somehow I thought that these wouldn't work together, this wouldn't go together. But speaking to you all and listening to you all, it has been a very cathartic moment for me. I didn't know what he was doing when he went to Pondicherry, or whether he went to Wayanad, or whether he went when he was there with you in Orissa, or what he was doing in class in Sikkim, or in Nagal, or in Guwahati, or even in Shillong. But I've come to know from all of you, Lucknow, and even he went to small places like Hisar and Rohtak and Mukteshwar, Muksar Sahib, to Amritsar. I mean, you name it, and he's been to even the smallest of towns, Raipur and Jabalpur and what have you, Bilaspur. So I came to know about his stories from all of you. And I'm glad, because, see, 5 hours today, or more than 6 hours, I spent listening about him, talking about him, all his facets, you were all familiar with. And probably I would have spent this time grieving. But now I feel that, I was honored to have spent more than 4 decades of my life with him, shared him with you. Was also, he was always a giver. He never wanted anything for himself. And I was telling you the other day that he wrote a message when I asked him what you needed, if you need anything in hospital, should I send? He said, no, I need only 2 things. I need my family, and I need my pen and my diary. And we've also touched upon, how he used to sing, and how, Marvasa was talking about it, and how, and I read a comment, some, I think probably new person, writing that she didn't know he could sing. I said, he sang beautifully. And in fact, after my first meeting with him, a very dear friend of ours was a professor of physics at Delhi University, Daksh. He was in class 5 with me, but he was in class 10 and 11, with him in Arya, in Anglo-Sanskrit school. And he told Vinay that, in this lane in Daryaganj, I have a very dear friend who has a Haveli. He said, no, come on, people these days don't have Havelis. He said, no, but Kumkum has. So he brought him to my house. And Vinay was surprised to see such a huge Haveli, Mughal style and all that. It was almost 100 years old. And then, they took me out to lunch because Daksh was an old friend of mine. And they did strange things. I think they were both smokers. So one would sit with me while the other went out for a smoke. And, so this was, and then Daksh left to do his PhD in Cambridge. And Vinay stayed back and interacted with me. But we didn't meet after that, but he did, sometimes he would call. And then I get a letter from Jagannath Puri, where he'd gone for a holiday with his parents. And he writes to me, and a beautiful Hindi ghazal, which Dushyant Kumar had written. And that was the first time I came to know that he was also could read and write Urdu, and he was also interested in poetry. And that was, Nagar umangon ka sunsan hai bano ki tarha, sunai deta hai sannata धड़कनों की तरह मिला गम तो ऐसे कि जैसे यार मिला मिली खुशी तो मुझसे दुश्मनों की तरह खुदा करे तेरे काकुलों के पेचो हम दराज होते रहे मेरी उलझनों की तरह तेरा शहर बनारस नहीं कि बस जाऊं तेरा शहर बनारस नहीं कि बस जाऊं तिलक लगाकर जबी पर ब्राह्मणों की तरह सो विनय मेरा शहर बनारस नहीं था नहीं तो तुम वहीं बस जाते. And then there's a ghazal of Bahadur Shah Zafar which I sang or I was asked to sing at every mehfil at Dr. Mehra's house. He always asked me to sing that, always. And Mehra Sahab would always sing with Vinay, Lat ulji suljha jare balam, mere haathon mein mehndi lagi. And I would sing, बात करनी मुझे मुश्किल कभी ऐसी तो न थी जो ये है तेरी महफिल कभी ऐसी तो न थी ले गया छीन के कौन आज मेरा सब्र और करार बेकरारी तुझे है दिल कभी ऐसी तो न थी. So this is what I used to sing, and Vinay would always sing Ranjish hi sahi dil hi dukhane ke liye aap phir se mujhe chhod ke jaane ke liye. And Mehra Sahab would always end up when I was leaving, we were leaving, and he would, raise his hands and would say, Abhi na jao chhod kar, ye dil abhi bhara nahi. अभी 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 तो कुछ कहा नहीं अभी तो कुछ सुना नहीं अभी ना जाओ छोड़कर कि दिल अभी भरा.
Thank you. For you and only for Didi I can say, मुझे लगा इमरोज का एक कपलेट जैसे सार दीदी के लिए कह रहे, जिस्म छोड़ा है साथ नहीं. He will be always with you. He's not in his body. I would request all of us to pay silent homage and pray Almighty for his final and eternal peace by standing up 2 minutes.